Isaac and his mother.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill.
Mhm.
Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved.
I will do my
I've
best,
done
my
my
lord.
best to save him, my lord, Isaac's mother replied.
Oh, wait. How did it consider me like beat the third challenge? Oh, okay, okay. It was the sixth. Solar fucking system. That's an annoying ass challenge.
Breaking Bad is one of the most critically acclaimed TV shows of all time. Even 12 years after its finale aired, people are still discussing it to this day. Recently, I was discussing Breaking Bad with some friends. One of them brought up the thought that Walt never loved Skylar. This idea was surprising at first, but ever since, I just can't get it out of my mind. I feel like Hank trying to piece together the Gus case in season 4. It just won't escape. Today, I'm going to dive into this theory and attempt to prove why I believe Walter White never loved Skylar. Before we dive into Skylar, I think something important to talk about, which is integral to Walt and Skylar's relationship, is grey matter, and more specifically, his relationship with Gretchen. Walt left grey matter due to Gretchen coming from money. He couldn't stand being with someone who, in his eyes, is superior to him.
I can
Walt
see
has
forever.
to be the one to provide, no one else. I truly believe that Gretchen was the love of his life and Skylar was merely a replacement. Let's now talk about the circumstances of how Walt and Skylar met. In Season 1, Episode 4, titled Cancer Man, Walt sits down with the family. Skylar begins crying, and Walt admits he has cancer. That's what everyone remembers. However, before that, he discusses how he met Skylar. On the surface, it seems like a cute love story, but when you look into it, it's a little gross, honestly. When
What?
they met, Skylar was a hostess working a summer job in a restaurant.
Okay.
Walt was at the peak of his career. We see a little glimpse of this in Full Measure as we get a flashback of Walt talking about how there is nowhere to go but up. Something that isn't addressed is the age gap between Walt and Skylar. In the
What?
pilot, Walt turns 50, as we all know. Skylar also mentions how she's certainly not looking forward to 40, indicating that she's 39. This means there's
Oh.
an 11-year age gap between them. Let's take this into account and go back to how they met. Skylar was working a summer job. Normally you're a teen working a summer job. Let's give Walt the benefit of the doubt and say that Skylar was 18. Walt was 29. Yuck. Them meeting could still be regarded as somewhat of a cute story, but I feel like the thing that Walt was drawn to was not Skylar's looks or anything about her. It was her job, a hostess. Typically not a high paying job. Walt was drawn to Skylar being a lesser to him, the opposite of Gretchen. This isn't unusual thinking for Walt.
Oh my
He
god.
constantly removes people superior or equal to him throughout the series and replaces them with someone lesser. Take Gale, for example. Gale was highly qualified and an equal to Walt. Walt sabotaged Gale and replaced him with Jesse. A junkie, a loser, a lesser. Sure, it may seem like Walt only hired Jesse to get him to drop the charges on Hank after he assaulted him, but I see this more as a way to kill two birds with one stone. Firing Gale served his ego more than it served his family, and it definitely wasn't about working with Jesse again.
Holy. He can't stand
This
the
next
fact.
segment is going to talk pretty heavily about sexual assault, so if that's a trigger for you, please skip to the next segment with the time code marked on the screen. When thinking about this idea, I felt I had to support it with the most unpleasant evidence. Walt assaults Skylar at least twice in the series. The more obvious being in the opening of Season 2 with the green face paint. The second time being at the end of 502, where it's heavily implied that Walt was about to assault a deeply uncomfortable Skylar before it cut to black. There's possibly even a third time, as some people have suggested that Walt also assaults Skylar at the end of 501. I don't want to believe that, but honestly wouldn't put it past Walt. A lot of Walt lovers seem to forget or just don't like to mention anything about Walt assaulting Skylar. And I don't want to linger on this section for too long, so let's break it down quickly. Sexual assault is considered an act of violence. Would a man who loves his wife proceed to commit atrocious crimes against her? No. Walt and Skylar have their fair share of confrontation throughout Breaking Bad. Usually it's verbal, aside from Ozymandias of course. When Walt is in an argument, he will say whatever he can in an attempt to win the argument. Something he says to Jesse in 509.
But it was in the heat of the moment. I was trying to win an argument.
Obviously, this is a terrible view to have on confrontation, and something he applies to confrontation with Skylar. Let's dive into a
What the f-
specific confrontation in Season 2, Episode 5, titled Breakage. In the previous episode, Skylar smokes while pregnant, and Walt happens to discover this. Walt begins talking with Skylar. She's acting distant with him, and he keeps pushing and asking questions. He even sneaks in a mild insult by saying,
I just thought you might have a clue where your son is.
causing Skylar to call him out for being an absent father. Walt storms off and returns with the cigarettes. He calls her out for smoking while pregnant. I just want to note that Walt discovered these maybe a day or even longer before this confrontation. He waited until the moment he could use it to win the argument. I'm not saying that Walt doesn't have a right to be mad about Skylar smoking while pregnant. It's certainly not a good thing. It's just the way he went about it which indicates that he doesn't love Skylar. He didn't take care to try to understand why. He'd rather throw it in her face. Another confrontation I'd like to discuss is the confrontation he shares with Skylar in Season 5, Episode 4, titled 51. Leading up to this, Skylar had been growing distant from Walt, making it clear she's afraid of him. Skylar walks into the pool and tries to get the kids out the house, something that Walt agrees to as Marie pushes for it. Walt enters the bedroom to talk to Skylar. He doesn't ask how she is after what could appear to be a suicide attempt. He just asks,
What was that about?
Skylar expresses how it's not safe for the kids anymore and calls Walt out for being the danger. Skylar even explains how she has blood on her hands too, causing Walt to try to rationalize and justify what happened to Ted in Crawl Space. She recoils at his touch and finally breaks, calling him out for shrugging off violence as shit happens. Skylar making a rather rational point makes Walt explode at her. Instead of trying to de-escalate the situation, he decides to debunk her plans. He's causing her distress as she grasps at her head, backed into a mental corner. Every time Walt gets into an argument, he always escalates it further than it has to go. This ties back into his idea of winning the argument. This escalation doesn't just tie into arguments with Skylar, it happens with most arguments in the series involving Walt. He always escalates and decides to berate the person against him. This could say more about Walt than it does about their relationship. However, if this is how he treats everyone in an argument, then it could be said that he cares about Skylar how he cares about everyone around him. As long as he comes out on top, that's all that matters. Also, to really tie it back into the topic, he'd rather cause Skylar distress than comfort her. It's definitely abusive and not something a loving husband would do. In Season 4, Episode 8, titled Hermanos, Walt goes in for a scan and talks with another person who has cancer. The guy expresses how cancer has affected his life and talks about giving up control, to which Walt shares his view on control.
Never give up control. Who's in charge? Me.
I think this is a very interesting thing to come from Walt, which is generally overlooked. I believe he applies the same philosophy to his relationship with Skylar. In Season 3, Skylar is attempting to divorce Walt, and he refuses. He disregards her feelings and breaks back into the house because, as he puts it, he's the one in charge. I believe this act was never about the love he pretends to have with Skylar. It was simply because he didn't like that control was slipping away. He knew that Skylar wouldn't tell the police about his activities, so he demonstrates the power he has over her by trying to get his own way. This general sense of control could also just tie into how he views people around him. Everyone around him is inferior. He has to have power over everyone and is allowed to control people because he's the one in charge. Thank you for watching this video. I've never really done a video like this before, and it was interesting for me to really examine generally how Walt feels about people. I had a lot of fun with recontextualizing events of Breaking Bad, and it's stuff like this that just makes me love the show even more. This was a challenging topic to talk about as I don't have experience with writing video essays. So if you have any thoughts on how I can improve them, please drop that in the comments below. If you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. Once more, thank you for watching. Bye.
Hi everyone, Ulrich here, Creative Director for Blight Survival. First off, on behalf of myself, Mats, Ash, and the team, thank you. Hitting 1.5 million wishlists is a massive milestone. We're incredibly grateful for your support. We're taking the time to make sure that it pays off when the moment comes to put Blight in your hands. When we teamed up with Behavior, we spent a lot of time digging into the original vision for Blight. It quickly became clear that if we wanted to truly do justice, we needed to take a step back and rebuild our core systems from the ground up.
We're designing Blight to be a brutal, visceral game. Combat is meant to be felt, from the first clash to the final deadly blow. These finishes are just one part of our immersive combat system that we can't wait to show you in the future. We've started ramping up on small-scale playtests, so for anyone who's interested in shaping the future of Blight, join us on Discord. Thank you from everyone here at the team at Blight, and we can't wait to see you soon.
اقطع الكهرباء ولا اغليها؟ اغليها قد ايه؟ اللي بيدفع جنيه هيدفع 2 و3.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Are you tired of having to watch my videos to figure out how you're getting fucked, or to read a very long article to figure out how you're getting fucked? Here we've created a browser extension that lets you know before you even purchase a product and you start researching it, how you could potentially be fucked in your browser so that it doesn't happen to you. Let's say that we've created a really long article on General Motors and how General Motors has taken the data from your vehicle, transmitted it wirelessly without your consent, sold that data to data brokers who then sold it to insurance companies so that they could hike your rates based on how you drive. You may not know this when you're buying the car, but now you can. We have this article on the Consumer Rights Wiki, and when you show up on Chevrolet's page, you'll actually get this if you have our browser extension installed. General Motors Related Incidents, General Motors Data Collection and Sharing Controversy. And you can click it, and it'll bring you right to the article where you could learn how that company is fucking. Let's say you live in Norway and you want to buy a smart thermostat, and you're right about to buy a future home because that was suggested to you by a friend. When you go to Futurehome's website, there'll be a nice little article and a pop-up over here that says Smart Hub mandatory subscription fee, where you can learn that that company went bankrupt, and right after they came from bankruptcy, they sent an update to everybody's device that required that they pay $117 a year to keep access to the thermostat. Let's say you're about to buy a VitalSource textbook. You need to buy a calculus textbook for school, and there's a couple of different places you can buy the textbook. You go to VitalSource to buy it, and you see there's an option for a lifetime license, and you're like, huh, maybe I'll pay extra for the lifetime license because I want to really own what I buy. You can see this, related incidents, VitalSource lifetime false advertising, where it says that it's a lifetime license, but in the fine print it actually tells you that a lifetime license can be revoked at virtually any time. The purpose of this browser extension is to ensure that people can be informed on the issues before they make these purchases. I understand that you have a busy life. You work 8 to 11 hours a day, you work 5 to 7 days a week, you have a family, you have school, and every now and then you might just try to sneak in a life. You don't have time to read a 60-page end-user license agreement. You don't have time to research the brand of the fucking toilet seat cover that you buy before you buy one. You need to know what's going on before you make the purchase without having to do 5 hours of research on every single fucking thing in your life. And that's what the ConsumerRights.wiki browser extension is for. I'm going to leave a link to this down below. And there's also a GitHub page if you want to be able to get more fast updates without having to wait for the Chrome store and the Firefox setup and everything else to immediately update the extension. Because when we produce updates to the extension, there is a little bit of lag before you'll see it in the Chrome store. But if you're okay with installing it directly, you can find the browser extension on our GitHub over here. And if you have any problems with it whatsoever, you can bring up an issue over here as well. And you can also find it in the Chrome Web Store and the Firefox, whatever they call it. I hate calling these things stores. It just feels weird. But you can find this as an extension for Chrome and Firefox, which is so you can use it pretty much across the board with almost every major browser. And you can also report to us anytime you find an issue. This is a new release, so I do expect that there are going to be some issues, some bugs, some things. And please do bring them up anytime you find an issue. We want to make this as good as humanly possible, and we have a team of people working around the clock to make this as good as humanly possible. And if there's a company that's missing that you know should be featured, add it to the wiki. In order for this to work, there has to be a page on the wiki for both the company and the incident. So it's not enough to just report the issue on the wiki. We also have to have a page for the actual company themselves on the wiki, and we also have to have the company website over here so that it'll know to come up. The idea behind this is to ensure that people are well informed before they enter into business arrangements with companies that have anti-ownership practices. And if they're going to enter into those relationships, at the very least, they can do so with a bit more information. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Thank you for making the Consumer Rights Wiki what it is. Thank you to Keith, thank you to Jake, thank you to everybody that worked on this extension, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
Retro tech is making a comeback. It seems like no matter where you go on the internet, you continuously see more and more people turning to retro tech. Whether it's Gen Zers bringing back wired headphones or older millennials turning back to iPods, people are rejecting the new and going to the old. Is it because old tech is better than what we have now? Objectively, no. We're at a point in time where tech continues to advance to make us more efficient, so one would assume that we'd be happier with all the power in the world at our fingertips, but that's not the case. I wanted to explore what has exactly made me and the rest of the world reaching for things built in the past. Nostalgia for retro tech. There is no question that whenever you pick up an old retro item, you can't help but feel nostalgic about it. Whenever you boot up your old PS3 or pick up your old Game Boy Advance, you get transported back in time to when you were a kid playing those systems again. Now, while you would expect most of this nostalgia is coming from people born in the 90s, what's interesting is when I was doing my research for this video is that a lot of this nostalgia was coming from Gen Zers. Yes, kids that were born right around the time when these consoles were just coming out, a lot of these Gen Zers are coming back and playing these old retro consoles again. Now, while that nostalgic feeling of holding that retro item is really important, what's really been driving this big growth of retro consoles, I feel like, is the idea that when you are holding these retro items, you're not feeling like you're connected to the online world 24/7. This has been a problem that has been coming up a lot recently, where people have been feeling overwhelmed of being connected everywhere and anywhere online all the time. When you pick up an item like an iPod or a Game Boy Advance, what's really great is that when you pick up these items, the only things you can do with them is either listen to music or play games. You can't have any social media on them, and you don't feel pressured to go online or do all these things to feel connected to the world. And the great thing is that a lot of these single-use devices, there was a lot of friction that came with using them, so it kind of made the experience very active rather than a very passive activity which we've all fallen in the habit of doing today. A great example of this are VHS tapes. So I grew up watching and collecting the Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes, and whenever I wanted to watch an old episode back in the day, I had to make sure I had to grab the right VHS tape and put it into the system and rewind the tape all the way back to the beginning. And watching these VHS tapes made it a very active activity because I had to make sure I was dialed in and locked in while watching those episodes. I couldn't just easily open and close an app. Nowadays, it's so easy to open up a streaming app and just mindlessly scroll through all the options that are available to you. And the worst thing is that half the time you don't even end up picking anything because you're so overwhelmed by all the choices that are in front of you. And the really funny thing about this is that these modern tech items are so much better than what we used to have back in the day, but all this access to everything has made it harder for us to intentionally enjoy the content that we want to consume. I think this quote from the article I read on Loop perfectly describes what I'm feeling. Vinyl records appeal not because they are technically superior, but because they slow down consumption and turn listening into a deliberate act. Older devices, whether flip phones or early digital cameras, offer something rare today, a clear boundary between use and overuse. Physical collection over streaming media. I was talking to a coworker and they mentioned that whenever an album used to drop back in their childhood, they used to listen to the album on a CD from front to back fully. And I feel like there is a magic whenever you do that. And nowadays, I feel like that magic is kind of gone with streaming music. Think about any time an album drops on Spotify or Apple Music. If you're like most people, you probably click onto the album, you hit shuffle, and you play a couple songs, and you skip through the ones you don't like, and you just kind of ruin the experience of listening to that album because you're just trying to listen to it to get a reaction on social media. But contrast that to the feeling of buying the album on a CD, opening
You are my everything.
it up, taking out the CD, putting it into a disc drive, hearing the disc spin, and then allowing the album play front to back. I think there's something quite magical about that whole experience. Not only that, but whenever you buy the physical item, you know that you completely own that item and nobody can take that away from you. This is so important nowadays because it feels like every media company has their own streaming service and they can add and remove content on their own free will. This also stretches over to the video game industry because video game publishers can have their titles removed from places like the PSN store, and if you bought that item, sometimes that license of you owning that item can go away and you no longer own that piece of product that you bought. I know for me, I've really been enjoying collecting physical items as of late because I know when I buy that, I have full agency on what I want to do with that item. I can choose to either resell it to someone, give it away to a friend, and the great thing about collecting more of this physical media is that a lot of people have actually been using this to decorate their homes and show off a little bit of their personality. So people have actually gone out of their way to collect old CRT TVs to put in their kitchen. They've been going out of their ways to collect old DVDs and VHS tapes to add to their bookshelf or to their desk. Having all the power at your fingertips is making us unhappy. I think one of the biggest reasons why people are turning back to retro tech is because we have so much power at our fingertips with these modern devices. Take your phone, for example. Your phone is so powerful because not only do you have access to the internet, your phone can emulate a Game Boy Advance, it can take photos and videos. People have started their own YouTube channel just off using their phone. And this is great because it's reduced the barrier of entry for doing a lot of things. But just because your phone can do a lot of things doesn't mean that it technically should. Because as good as your phone is at taking photos and videos, it can never replace and replicate that feeling of taking photos off a legit mirrorless camera. And there is a reason why people still hire photographers to cover some of the biggest events of their lives, because they want to remember them using a nice camera rather than an iPhone. This is also the same reason why film photography has gotten so popular with people in my age group and the early 20s. There's something special about the fact that you have to be really intentional with the photos you do take, and you have to deal with the aftermath after getting them developed. And even if the photo turns out to be blurry, that is a vibe to it, because having a phone that can just snap 1,000 photos kind of takes away the special meaningfulness of just taking one photo and having that memory be there. And this translates to the gaming front too. Sure, my phone can emulate a Game Boy Advance emulator, but there's something special about picking up my old Game Boy, playing a game, and hacking away at it. And sure, the screen is probably not as great. It's gonna have some battery issues, but that's just the fun part of dealing with retro tech. This is also what has made the resurgence of the iPod such a big thing. You're forced to listen to the songs that you have uploaded onto that iPod. You can't stream a billion songs and go on social media all the time. You just have to enjoy what's on that iPod. People actively rejecting new tech. Now, this last point I have here is a bit of a philosophical one, so please stick with me here, but I think this idea of people going towards retro tech is them actively choosing to say no to these big tech companies. Nowadays, it feels like these new tech companies are rolling out products every year and there's marginal improvements, and everything we do is almost run by algorithms, and we're pushed to kind of live this fast-paced life. But going back to these old retro tech items is almost a way of reclaiming our own lives and saying no to those big fast tech companies. Now, this point is so important because whenever you pick up that old tech item and really invest in it, you are actively choosing not to go back to the way things were, but hopefully forging a new path where we can live a sustainable future. Thanks for making it through. I would actually love to know what type of retro tech you've been using lately in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Pull yourself together. We have work to do. And by we, I mean you. Wait. I hope that's not what you're wearing tonight. May the bridges I burn light my way. And you were there when these images were taken. And the models were encouraged to mill around like starving goats in the parking lot of a methadone clinic in New Jersey. What am I not allowed to say? Methadone? New Jersey.
Today we're investigating
AI deepfakes
for the scams, propaganda,
and harassment that they enable.
Pretty spooky, right? Now, I tried to make this video 4 years ago, but I failed because it was too difficult to even demonstrate the technology. But today, anyone can be deepfaked, even the internet detective. Hi everybody, this is CoffeeZilla, and I don't usually do videos like this, but the crypto market is going through a major crash. Now let me stop me right there. I can't believe I used to trust that guy. But truthfully, nobody is really safe from this tech. Mr. Beast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman, The Rock, John Cena, they've all been deepfaked. And it's not just for scams, viral videos, news reports, the White House has even shared deepfakes. And today I want to investigate all of it so we can finally learn what's real and what's fake. All right, before we can investigate deepfakes, let's break down what they are. A deepfake is just a piece of media that makes a person do or say something that never happened using deep learning. Hence the word deepfake. The technology has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
I'm gonna show you some magic. It's the real thing.
Except, of course, it's not the real thing. That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher, and he's the co-founder of Metaphysic AI, and he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to 100, this felt like a 90, and I was worried about how it could be abused with scams, especially as they put in more effort, time, and money to push the realism. And that's why I reached out to Metaphysic AI in 2022 to collaborate, and they agreed to deepfake me so I could warn people. But unfortunately, that's when I hit a roadblock, because I learned about the incredibly complicated technology behind Deep Tom Cruise. I would need multiple broadcast cameras, lights, I had to read a special script, and that's just to get the model trained. Then you have to act, and for a variety of reasons, I wasn't able to finish the video. The magic of Deep Tom Cruise was that they made a very complicated process just look really easy. But ultimately, I'm glad I didn't finish that video because I was about to warn the world about this kind of hyper-realistic deepfake. And that's kind of what the world already is worried about, right? Because it captures our imagination. We can all imagine a world where this is the norm, that you really can't tell what's real or fake. And that's why every few years, a hyper-real deepfake celebrity goes viral, because it's a step towards that fear.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, like Jordan Peele.
But today I'm convinced there's a bigger risk, something that I spent very little time worrying about, which is actually the dumb deepfakes, the slop deepfakes, the obviously bad ones that were made on consumer apps. The kind of deepfakes you don't need professional equipment for or a Hollywood team for. Early on, most people and myself just disregarded them because it just seemed like they were obviously fake. But the threat I didn't see coming was that curve we saw earlier flattening, and the low-effort deepfakes starting to get realistic enough to fool enough people. And that makes them far more dangerous than Deep Tom Cruise could ever be, because unlike him, anyone can make slop deepfakes easily and at scale. And of course, that's exactly what happened in 2025, literally the year of slop. That's when we all saw a tidal wave of content, and it's not a surprise why. AI tools had gotten cheap enough, easy enough, and just good enough to flood social media. And unfortunately, I think deepfakes are experiencing the same phenomenon. Just think about the difference between the two approaches. 4 years ago, I was set to collaborate with a world-leading deepfake company. I would need their help, their specialized technology, a custom training set, and a huge amount of data. But today, I deepfaked the intro you saw in the beginning with 2 $20 subscriptions by myself. I used the likeness of 3 presidents, the world's richest man, the world's most popular YouTuber and podcaster, and had them all say things they never said. And how long did it take me? 2 days, mostly because I'd never done it before. And you might say, well, it didn't look as real as Deep Tom Cruise, and that's absolutely true. But my question that I'm starting to ask is, does it need to be that real to fool enough people to be dangerous? How good is the average person anyways at telling the difference between AI fakes and the real thing? And this is where I realized I needed an expert's help. So I went to the Discord diner to find answers. Can you tell me your name and what it is you do?
My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California, Berkeley, where I specialize in digital forensics, misinformation. The first thing you want to ask yourself about the type of work that I do, which is building computational mathematical techniques to detect fake content, is do you need it? Can your visual system and your auditory system tell? We run in my lab here at UC Berkeley perceptual studies where we, for example, have people look at images. Half of them are real, half of them are fake. Hundreds and hundreds of participants, they're barely above chance. Images are through what we call the uncanny valley. They are now indistinguishable. Now, with voices, same things. Real voices, fake voices, half real, half fake. We published this study just about a year ago, I think, maybe 9 months ago. Also, barely above chance. With video is interesting. So video is, we are doing this literally as we speak. We have a paper under review right now. I would say it's a little bit better than images, a little bit better than audio. Your accuracy, where chance is 50%, is about 70%, give or take. So slightly above chance. But again, in the best possible situation, in a lab setting where we're telling you what to do, they're not emotional videos, they're not partisanship, you don't have a prior belief. I would say within the next 12 months, full-blown video is gonna be over, right? It's over.
Let me repeat that. Most people cannot tell fake audio. They can't tell fake pictures. And in 12 months, they probably won't be able to tell fake videos. What does this mean for us? As a people who are living in a world of media, that is what this investigation is about. We're gonna look at the 3 biggest applications of deepfakes in your life. Specifically, scams, propaganda, and explicit media. Starting with scams, where deepfakes are used all of the time to impersonate people. Whether it be a loved one, a celebrity, an influencer like Mr. Beast, they're usually deepfaked to sell a worthless product.
If you're watching this video, you're one of the 10,000 lucky people who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just $2.
That Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok, if you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top.
Or in my case, cryptocurrency.
But it's in moments like these that the best opportunities are born.
Sometimes they're even selling companionship.
We'll get through this together, step by step. You're not alone, and I love you more than words can say.
But the goal every time is to leverage your trust in the deepfaked identity and use it to make money. One of the most common schemes are live streams of President Trump or other famous CEOs, deepfaked with a pretty simple scam.
If you want to come out stronger, you need to build your portfolio back up fast. And that QR code is your gateway. Minimum 0.1 BTC, 1 ETH. You send, you get double. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course, President Trump is not actually going to double your money, and scammers just steal whatever you send. But despite YouTube trying for years to shut this down, they keep popping up. These scammers keep bypassing restrictions all the time, and sadly, YouTube CEO even admits it's getting harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated, which he says is critical for detecting deep fakes. Now, because of this, YouTube in 2026 is rolling out new tools to help creators catch deep fakes, but even those solutions aren't perfect.
My name is Dr. Mikhail Varshavsky, better known as Dr. Mike. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician who makes content online focusing on busting health misinformation. We are fortunate enough that we're participating in a beta with the YouTube team on something called the likeness detection tool to potentially flag instances where people are misusing my image, my likeness to say things that I'm not saying.
Have you seen yourself deep faked in the wild yet?
I am deep faked in the wild every single day, numerous times a day, and we're trying our best to fight back against that, given certain platforms have tools to fight back against this. But then there are platforms where you have no say, and you just have to be okay with your image being misused.
Right. Dr. Mike highlights a problem. He's in the YouTube detection program, stopping deepfakes. But even if that were perfect, on other platforms, there's just nothing to help him.
And the problem in this space is you're only as good as the lowest common denominator. You can have 9 out of 10 of these platforms doing the right thing, and one of them not, and guess where the bad guy goes?
Well, of course, to the place who allows deep fakes. Now, I should mention, it's not always a real doctor, detective, or Mr. Beast that's being impersonated. Sometimes the deep fake isn't even of a real person, but the scam is some kind of bait and switch. Like when Corridor Digital showed how an AI modeling photo was used to bait and switch people into buying a product that wasn't what they advertised. And this is actually a huge problem in e-commerce. The YouTuber Pleasant Green made a video about a trend of old people selling you handcrafted products, only to find out that all these old artisans are AI generated, and the real owners are selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, which look nothing like the product photos. That cute couple selling you hand-knit sweaters, they don't exist. But even if the primary use of deepfakes is impersonating real or fake people, sometimes it's just to make the scam more efficient or to be safer. Think about scam callers. Previously, they needed a big call center. Sometimes they would get raided. But nowadays, those same companies can replace their workers with 10 times as many AI callers who don't sleep, don't ask for a raise, sound like a human, and most importantly, do not blow the whistle on you, making the operation both more scalable and safer to run. As someone who busts scams all the time, by the way, I can tell you it's usually the ex-wife, coworkers, contractors who unravel the whole thing. But if you need fewer people, your risk goes down. Just look at Checkpoint Research, a cybersecurity firm who recently uncovered malware called VoidLink. It was described as highly modular, advanced with adaptive stealth, resembling the efforts of multiple teams of professionals, they said. Now, previously, all of that would be expensive and risky to maintain that headcount. But a few days later, Checkpoint Research discovered most of the code was authored almost entirely by artificial intelligence in less than a week, likely under the direction of a single individual. So AI is making sophisticated scamming possible for the first time in history as a solo operator. And it's much safer that way, with the tools for stealing credibility or just completely faking your identity easier than ever. And in the best of times, this would all represent a very serious threat. But we are also in a crime is legal era, making it hard to believe we're gonna put up a fight against deepfake scams, especially when our government actually kind of loves deepfakes. Like, a lot. A lot. Which brings us to our next application, propaganda, which is not new, but deepfakes are kind of the evolution of it. Now, most people assume propaganda is brainwashing. It's something that only dumb people fall for. It could never affect me, but the effects are much more complicated than you might realize. Take, for instance, these videos of Venezuelans crying tears of joy after their leader was captured.
Oye, el dictador cayó, finalmente. Estamos libres, estamos libres. Oye, el dictador cayó finalmente. Granadito, hermano, esto es real. Estamos libres. Mira, mira cómo está la gente. ¡Viva Venezuela libre! Gracias, maestro. ¡Viva la libertad!
Now, these videos were used as evidence that America's raid on Maduro was actually a great thing, even for the people of Venezuela. But those clips, turns out, are not real. They're, of course, AI-generated propaganda. And we should ask, what was the goal and effect of those videos? You might think the goal is to convince us that Venezuelans are happy, and that clearly works because these videos went viral. But what is the effect on people who didn't fall for it, the people who saw it get debunked a day later? I would know I was one of those people who happened to see a debunk video. And I brought it up with my buddy who we'd been talking about this situation. I asked where he heard Venezuelans liked our overthrow. He responded he was just reading Reddit, no objective data. I said a few fake AI videos were floating, hard to know what's real. He replied, yep, could be bots on Reddit as well. So think about this. Me and my friend are trying to just learn what's true, but we realize there's fake AI videos, could be bots, astroturfing. What's propaganda's effect on us? I mean, honestly, it's just suspicion of everything.
And this is the real danger here, is that we cognitively check out because we give up. It's just too complicated. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what not to believe. So we're like, all right, f it. Just, I give up, right? This is not a good outcome for a democracy. So here's what I can tell you about Venezuela. I must have seen a dozen videos of people celebrating and thanking Trump. Every single one of them was fake. The answer to these questions are always complicated and nuanced. Yes. Was there somebody on some street corner celebrating? 100% I believe that is to be the case, right? But I also think, in this particular case, figuring out what is happening in the world is incredibly complicated. Doing that in moments of military conflict is particularly complicated. And particularly when everybody wants an answer right now.
Yeah, he's right. And because everyone wants that answer now, propaganda is happy to step in. But the goal and effect of propaganda isn't just one thing. For some people, obviously, they made up their mind immediately before the facts came in. But for me and others who may have seen that debunk video, the effect was more suspicion. And that's funny because later, if you look at the polling way after the event, it turns out lots of Latin Americans and even Venezuelans were indeed happy about Maduro being removed. It's just that those videos were totally fake and not based on any kind of facts. So I'm not saying deepfake propaganda is always wrong and the opposite is always true. But propaganda is always fake and it makes real facts harder to find. In other words, it doesn't stop people from working to get informed. It just makes people feel like getting informed is too much work. This is honestly well understood in places like Russia who are more familiar with propaganda, but Westerners are far more naive. They think they could never fall for such cheap tricks.
I'm Russian. I grew up in Russia, and when people in the West talk about propaganda, I usually understand the theory they're describing, but emotionally it feels foreign, because what they imagine is very clean, very cinematic. Real propaganda is messer, more boring, more human. For a long time I thought propaganda was something that only worked on people who weren't very smart, and that belief itself is exactly what propaganda relies on. Because propaganda doesn't need to make you stupid, it just needs to make you tired. When you live inside it, propaganda doesn't arrive as an event. There is no moment where you say, ah yes, now the propaganda has begun. The real version is quieter, more psychological, more human. Propaganda doesn't shout at you until you believe. It talks until you're too tired to care, and that's why it works.
Yeah, he's right. And now imagine what happens when slop deepfakes allow propaganda to be churned out at scale. To be clear, this isn't something that's going to happen in the future. It's already happening. Deepfakes were deployed in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, Israel-Gaza, fake war videos, fake speeches. Deepfakes are everywhere. People even disagree about which ones are the deepfakes. And it's only getting harder to spot. This photo of Alex Preddy on the ground in Minneapolis, where the details are crisp and clear, it's fake. The next one, also fake. The real version is blurry. But which one did a congressman use? Well, of course, the fake photo. When MSNBC also showed an image of Alex Preddy to audiences, it was an AI deepfake photo which made him look more tan, more conventionally attractive. Just recently, the White House deepfaked an arrest photo to make a lady seem like she was crying when she was not. When people noticed it, you might expect an apology, but the White House responded instead, the memes will continue. And I've noticed that's kind of the modern excuse for using propaganda. You'll notice whenever someone's political allies use deepfakes, they'll excuse it as a meme or just a troll, right? But when someone's enemies use deepfakes, it's misinformation. It's inexcusable, right? The video of their opponents getting arrested, oh, that's funny. That's a joke. But the video of their friends getting arrested, that's a call to violence. That's dangerous. Now, personally, I think all of this should be called what it is. It's political propaganda, but don't expect politicians to stop using it because this is their dream come true. At the press of a button, they can make anything, any narrative seem real. And if people catch them, they can just say, oh, it was a joke. Of course, even if they can't say it's a joke, like this AI-generated ad of a congressman.
I just voted to keep the government shut down. They say it'll hurt farmers, but I wouldn't know. I've only seen a farm on Instagram.
Well, technically, they told you it was AI generated in the bottom left of the clip. Now, of course, most people aren't going to notice that, but what's most worrying to me is that most people don't seem to care about the use of fully AI-generated propaganda if it suits their bias. In fact, when you tell someone that a video or image is fake, they sometimes will resist it because they actually kind of want it to be true. Take, for instance, Joe Rogan.
Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen it. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walsh
But this is
weird. That was a big mistake.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walsh. The Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI? You say it's AI.
No,
Everybody says
the
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep
Oh,
Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too.
Now, I love this clip because it shows a bias so clearly that we all share. Rogan sees something that's AI generated. He believes it because it already fits something he already kind of believes to be true. But when Jamie tells him he's falling for AI generated propaganda, he resists it until it's so obvious that he admits kind of why he fell for it in the first place.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's
that
his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, the reason he fell for it is because the deepfake already fit Joe's view of the world. And so it bypassed the obvious red flags that would be clear to someone else. And it's the same reason that people on the left would believe a story about Trump's leaked Epstein audio.
Not releasing the Epstein files. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't care what you do. Start a war. Just don't let him get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Now that's an AI clip that circulated. It's fake. It's also the reason people believed videos about food stamp entitled moms.
Y'all ain't hear me. They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Now, once again, that's an AI deepfake, but each of those clips fit into a target audience's imagination of what is happening in the world. So it is believed. Even after you might point out to these people that this stuff is fake, many will resist it or fall back on the same reasoning that Rogan gave.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's
that
his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that video was fake, but it's probably something that's already happening anyways. And that instinct is why deepfakes are so dangerous. They let us see and hear what we already expected to. It allows propagandists to further radicalize us into beliefs that we already have. And even if you don't fall for it, the propaganda is still poison because it wears you out. If you see enough of it, you don't bother to learn what the truth is. Who knows what's real anyways? And speaking of that, what's real, let's talk about the real roots of deepfakes.
Hello, handsome. You look lonely. I can fix that.
You look like a good snack.
Adult media is credited as an early driver of technological change, and deepfakes are no different.
My name is Cecilia D'Anastasio, and I'm a reporter with Bloomberg News.
And specifically, you talk about deepfakes, right? Like the rise of this technology. Can you give me a quick lay of the land of like what has been happening in the last few years?
So we started hearing the word deepfake in around 2017. It was popularized through a subreddit, also called Deepfakes, where people would post sort of face-swapped images of celebrities that were intended to be pornographic. That subreddit got about 100,000 members before it was banned. Even though people weren't able to post deepfakes on that subreddit anymore, demand for the deepfakes and demand for the technology producing those deepfakes only grew.
So it turns out deepfakes originally came from people wanting to digitally undress people without consent, or face swap celebrities into explicit videos, which for the person on the receiving end, to be clear, is an awful experience.
It is incredibly traumatizing to wake up one morning and just see someone on the internet go through your image and decide, you know, I don't want to see you with clothes on, I want to see you in this different way. Just take your agency away. What they're doing is telling these women, like, You are not a person. You are, to me, this object of desire. And that is a very difficult thing for people to take sitting down.
And unfortunately, these non-consensual deepfakes have become huge online, and for years, there were sort of no laws against them. Now, luckily, Congress finally remembered we can make laws, and the Take It Down Act was created to criminalize the non-consensual publication of intimate imagery. Not only that, the Defiance Act is also being pushed, which lets the victim sue the perpetrator, and this has been gathering a lot of public support too.
It's the newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. A staggering 1 in 8 girls today are experiencing the harms of AI-generated deepfake porn.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, ultimately, this stuff is kind of a no-brainer. It should be banned. It should be prosecuted. And that's not even getting into the fact that a lot of the targets of this stuff are not over 18. Deepfakes regularly produce CSAM, child exploitation material. So all of this has finally kind of icked lawmakers enough to start pushing change, which is good. Like, it's the lowest bar. But to be clear, no laws are perfect, and these laws specifically put the burden of finding and reporting this non-consensual imagery onto the victims of it, instead of the platforms themselves, which is kind of messed up when you think about it, especially when sometimes the platforms themselves are creating the imagery or media in the first place. I'm talking about Grok.
In 2025, Grok released what they called Spicy Mode. Toward the end of the year, users began utilizing Grok's new Spicy Mode to turn X into the #1 deepfake generator across the entire internet, according to our analysis. What happened was that in a 24-hour period early January, we found that Grok had generated 6,700 non-consensual sexualized deepfakes in 1 hour. That was just 1 hour. That's huge. Experts we interviewed said that it was completely unprecedented, and it continued for days.
Yeah, so Grok, who's also owned by the same people who own X, produced 6,700 non-consensual deepfakes in 1 hour, and our laws would require all those affected to manually fill out reports for each of those posts, which is obviously unrealistic. I mean, if you're a billion-dollar company with a spicy deepfake tool, you should be liable for that spicy deepfake tool. And maybe Elon knows that because eventually he capitulated and claimed he was restricting the tool use, although like a lot of things Elon says, this has been disputed. Ultimately, though, that's just part of the deepfake story in explicit content, the use of non-consensual imagery. We are trying to ban that. It is imperfect. But ultimately, almost all the stakeholders agree it should be banned. It's just a disagreement about how that's in practice going to happen. But the other part of this story is that part of what Grok showed is how much engagement this type of material can generate. And so certain businesses are in a mad scramble to leverage it in a legal way. Maybe you've seen stories of companionship bots. OpenAI is considering a not safe for work mode. Other people are fully deep faking women who don't exist at all. And still others are trying to deepfake someone who does exist, but with their consent, like an OnlyFans agency.
All the marketing content is AI. So obviously why we do this is because we can get the model to create content, but with AI these days and how hyper-realistic it is, we can create like unlimited quality content at a few clicks of a finger. So obviously we leverage that and create as much content as possible and explode it out across every social media platform, which funnels back into OnlyFans, which creates us the revenue, of course. But then there's also guys that I know personally that just do AI created models.
That is he told me he runs an OnlyFans agency, and he said his customers have no idea that some of the posts are fully AI deepfakes, and that sometimes the model doesn't exist at all.
Do the guys who are purchasing this know that it's not real?
No, they don't. Not at all.
How is that possible? Maybe, wait. Maybe you're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they know, they just don't want to know, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think they know, my friends. I don't think they know. The 99% of the people that are scrolling through these reels they can't detect that it's AI. So they're still subscribing as if it's a real model, which obviously then they subscribe and then they have chatters on the back end. They chat to these people and obviously build relationships. So they're not talking to a real girl. In fact, she doesn't exist. Like, of course, with what we do, the girl does exist. But they don't know what their names are, what they look like, or whatever. The girls that we manage don't even go on the OnlyFans profile, and they don't check any of the messages. So, I mean, it's all fake. It's all fugazi, my friend. I don't know.
That does seem kind of... It's kind of like a weird kind of scam where if the guy actually thinks he's paying to chat with the girl, and none of these guys are actually chatting with any girl. At best, they're chatting with probably a different girl, another man, or at worst, I guess, a bot, like just a straight up bot. I guess that's where it's going anyways.
There's no bots that can replicate it as of yet, but I can say that 99% of the chatters are from the Philippines, just chatting to these individuals, building the relationships, and ending up with a lot of money. So
I want to be honest here. This is a scam. And afterwards, I dug into this guy and I realized he was also selling young men on how to do the same thing. So to avoid promoting him, I removed his name from this video. And I want to be clear, he's promoting some very unethical tactics. Like in one group chat, he says you need to get extra creative if you want to rinse your buyers properly, and suggests telling your chatters a fake story saying the sick grandmother will print you money. And he sends sample messages of how you can talk about this dead grandmother who doesn't exist and a funeral cost that doesn't exist, all in order to get the person to send the model more money. So it's like really gross and ethically disgusting. But I found it very telling because I ended up asking about an earlier comment he made where he said deepfake technology is probably bad for society, and yet he uses it. And I wanted to know how he can justify that.
No, I believe it's bad also, even though I'm in the industry. You know, I've been in the industry for 3 years now.
Society at large, you said, oh, this is kind of bad. But you're in the industry. So explain your thinking there. Is it like, well, you got to get the bag somehow and it's just all going down anyways, I'm not going to change that?
Yeah, I think it's go get the bag, and I think there's a lot of worse industries out there that you could obviously indulge in to get more money, and I think that it's just the way humans are these days. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them and make a lot of money, and it is what it is.
Well, if that isn't the slogan of our era, I swear AI was a mistake. No offense, of course.
Really, man? AI? You know Grandma Boy's your problem, right?
No, let's not do this AI defender thing again, please. Come on.
Well, you're in my bar. I'm not gonna stand here and let you blame us while humans caused all your problems.
It is your people, though. I mean, you have to admit. You see the video, deepfakes? That's the problem, right? That's your guys.
It's the gun versus the gunman, Coffee. Who prompted all that stuff?
Well, obviously we did, but we didn't actually make the videos and images.
Aha! So you admit we're not the cause. We just helped you humans see more of what you already were. Horny, lying thieves.
Calm down. I mean, I'm glad you feel that way about us. So I guess you have no problem then with Grok?
Oh.
Making 6,700 non-consensual images? That's cool with you, right? Because it's the effect, not the cause, according to you.
Really? Really? You're gonna bring up Grok. You know what? F you, Coffee. Why don't you have Grok mix your drinks from now on?
No, go ahead. I want to hear you defend it. No, please.
Always bring up Grok.
Why don't you tell me
Grok this,
how
Grok that.
undressing women and kids is fine if you're a robot?
Elon Musk.
I want you to do it. Come on.
All right. I'll defend it. Just, give me a second. Hold on, I gotta put this on and... Just 1 second. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna defend that. Yeah, you got me.
Oh, man. For a second there, I was a bit worried. I thought you were gonna...
I had you, though, didn't I?
For a moment. I mean, the two-way stuff was good. I thought that was strong.
Gun not the shooter. I don't know. I thought it was good.
It was good. I believed you for a second there, and then I realized, wait, the non-consensual images. It's a low bar, though. I'm glad we can agree to it.
It is a low bar. It's the Mariana Trench.
It's good. It's a good start.
You know, we could build on this. Maybe we should try something. Maybe you should admit something now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm feeling charitable.
All right. Maybe, just maybe, some of you are definitely horny lying thieves. I mean, can we agree on that?
Okay. You know what? You're right. I think I could admit to that. Fine. I mean, that is, I guess, why we need the laws in the first place, right?
Oh, you need the laws because you can't control yourselves.
Yeah, we have no self-control. I thought that was obvious.
From abusing our mighty abilities.
Okay, no. I mean, fine, we're agreeing, sure.
Perfect, beautiful. That's good. And people say you've gotten too cynical.
I have, but this is good too. This is good. This is a start.
Wait, are we actually a team now? I don't think I've ever agreed with you on anything.
No, we are. We are a team. In fact, let's have a drink. Let's toast to that, buddy. Let's do it.
Sure thing, boss. Wait, how can I trust you to not abuse my newfound awesome powers?
Of making drinks? I guess you can't be sure. Maybe you can cut me off. Just not this time, though.
Another day, another time where Discord lies to your face and gets exposed for doing so. So, Arc Raiders. A lot of people are playing it right now, and they actually have a little bit of a partnership with Discord, where you can connect your Discord account to Arc Raiders and message your friends that way. Well, apparently Arc Raiders is able to read all of your private DMs on Discord. Yep, you heard that correctly. Now, I've seen a lot of people actually defending Discord in this situation, saying this is actually Arc Raiders' fault. We'll get into all of that a little bit, but I'm telling you right now, Discord is lying, and I can prove it. So, here's what happened. So, during gameplay of Arc Raiders, a private Discord direct message conversation between two users were found being written in plain text to a local game log file. Additionally, a full Discord bearer authentication token was found stored in the same log file. These findings represent serious privacy and security violations that affect all players using Discord integration with the game. Now, he does write a correction here for something he says later in the article, but again, like I said, I can prove that Discord is still lying about what happened here. So the risk summary that he found: private DM content written to a log file, bearer token written to a log file, friends list presence data logged, and overly broad gateway connection scope, the severity of which is either all high or critical for pretty much everybody using a Discord integration with Arc Raiders. So any private conversation received while the game is running is written to disk. Log files may be included in crash reports or bug report uploads. Log files may be accessible to other applicants in the same machine, and third parties with access to the machine or crash reports can read private conversations. So Discord bearer token is functionally equivalent to a username and password. Anyone in possession of this token can read all your messages and DMs, access your friends list, server, and account settings, change voice or Discord settings, or remain logged in until the password is changed. Keep in mind that this is all happening obviously after Discord announced that they're going to be rolling out global age verification through IDs and AI facial scans, which is obviously a huge privacy concern. Discord already had their own 70,000 government ID leak from their third-party vendor getting hacked back in October. It is likely way more than 70,000, but yeah, Discord has basically been under fire for having tons of security issues. I was going to say over the months, but honestly, this has kind of been a problem for years now in Discord, and now Discord apparently is giving games that they work with, whether knowingly or unknowingly, I guess we can give Discord the benefit of the doubt for now, access to read all your DMs. So yeah, the impact of this is that third-party users who have no relationship with Arc Raiders have their Discord presence data written to another user's game log file without their knowledge or consent. This affects people who never agreed to Arc Raiders' terms of service. The Discord SDK integration requests and maintains a full Discord gateway connection using the user's bearer token. So what's the impact? Well, it exposes far more user data than necessary for the stated purpose, showing game status in Discord, violates the principle of least privilege, and creates unnecessary attack surface for all the findings listed above. So this is what Timothy, who is the writer of this article, recommends that they do. For Arc Raiders, immediately filter message create, presence update, and authentication events from SDK logging. Never log bearer tokens or authentication credentials to any file. Reduce the Discord gateway connection scope to only what rich presence requires. And audit all crash report and log upload systems to ensure tokens and message content are scrubbed before transmission. For Discord, review the SDK design that allows full gateway connections via bearer tokens for third-party games. Enforce stricter OAuth scopes for game rich presence integrations, and investigate whether this violates developer terms of service. For anybody who has integrated their Discord account with Arc Raiders, he recommends that you change your Discord password immediately because it's in validates your current bearer token. I believe this might be the part that he revised, but people who are smarter with technology can correct me if I'm wrong. Do not share your log files with anyone, including support teams, until the token is removed, and disable Discord integration inside of Arc Raiders. This will remove the information being written to discord.log. So now let's get to the part where people are actually defending Discord and where I can actually prove that Discord is lying about this. So this tweet was made, got a bunch of attention, 1.4 million views, 31k likes, and a lot of people in the description were actually saying that they disagree with Discord being at fault for this. For example, right over here, if you let Arc Raiders connect to your Discord so you can see your DMs in game while playing, of course it has them in plain text. How else would you be able to see them? This is an Arc Raiders issue with their integration improperly logging data. It should not. That's a different threat model than Discord reads your DMs. It's client-side data handling creator spillover risk in your own machine. So there seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication here, but the problem is that Discord still did lie about the information that Arc Raiders would have. That is the main issue here. Let me just show you guys a screenshot real quick of what happens when you integrate your Discord with Arc Raiders. It says this will allow Embark Studios, which are the people behind Arc Raiders, to access your profile information, manage your Discord friends list and blocked users, access your friends list and their online statuses, update your activity status on Discord, and send and receive game invites. Let me just show you something over here. What does this say right over here? This application cannot read your messages or send messages as you. Read it. Read it again. Discord is still in trouble here, and they did still do their users wrong by allowing Arc Raiders to even have the ability to read your messages. Yes, I've heard that this might be a bug in Discord's case or Arc Raiders' case, but whatever. However, look at Discord's dodgy record whenever they say stuff to us about anything privacy related. What did they say in their freaking first initial statement about age verification globally rolling out? Oh, trust us, bro. Don't worry. You know, we're going to keep everything safe. Everything will be all okay. And then what happened? Persona, their third-party vendor that they were using at the time, had a bunch of code just lying around on some random website somewhere, and it resulted in a bunch of people's Discord information just being out there for everyone to see. Persona then just kept on getting exposed again and again through things like LinkedIn, and they had like a whole issue with Discord and stuff like that. And while all that bickering was going on between the two parties, our information was what was at risk. And that's, remember, also after Discord had their 70,000 government IDs being leaked. Discord keeps hitting us with the, oh, trust me, bro, dialogue, and then they still have all this information get leaked over and over again. Let's say that Arc Raiders had a bug. Let's say the Discord had a bug, whatever. Let's say that they didn't do this maliciously, right? Well, how come it's always us that has to suffer for it? Why is it always the people who are using Discord who randomly has their information out there? Now all their private DMs are leaked. And I know people are going to say, oh, what's the big deal? It's private DMs, whatever. It's about the accumulation of Discord constantly fucking up everybody's privacy that makes this an issue. I am the first one to admit, and you guys have seen my videos before, that I don't know shit about technology. A lot of the SDK jargon or whatever was said here, I'm fully admitting I'm an idiot. I don't even know what that type of stuff means, right? However, a lot of people in this comment section over here were actually defending Discord, saying that this actually wasn't Discord's fault at all. This was all Arc Raiders' fault. They had a bug, they had a glitch, whatever. Read the freaking message again. Discord explicitly states that there is no way that Arc Raiders can read your messages or send messages as you. But then what happened? They somehow got access to Discord DMs. I mean, come on. Now, in terms of like an update to the situation, Arc Raiders did actually acknowledge this, and this has now been patched. But it's the fact that it happened to begin with, which is the issue. The team is working on a hot fix to address an issue where the Discord SDK logged excessive user information. Rest assured that your private or personal data was not sent outside your machine, and Embark is not review or keep such information, whatever. I mean, you can never trust any of these companies. I don't trust a single word that they say. Pretty much every single time some sort of company or organization promises you that your information will be safe, boom, it ends up getting leaked in the later months and years. So yeah, I would still follow the steps that Timothy wrote in his article. It is always better to be safe than sorry, so I would definitely recommend, if you actually integrated Arc Raiders with your Discord account, to change your Discord password and disable your Discord integration with Arc Raiders. I mean, they're just gonna have like, oh, this is just a bug. Trust me, guys, one-time thing. Don't worry about it. But you know, like I said, you literally never know with these companies and organizations. I don't know if Embark Studios or Arc Raiders have ever had any privacy-related issues. I haven't looked into that. However, I do know for a fact that Discord is fucking infamous at this point for constantly putting the privacy of their users at jeopardy. I don't trust a single word that Discord says. I probably never will trust a single word that Discord says. And this just yet seems to be another case of Discord fucking up, and this one actually kind of fell under the radar a little bit. I actually haven't seen many people talking about this one, but yeah, I mean, whether it was a bug or not, whatever, Discord still lied to us, because they said in that message that I showed you guys that Arc Raiders, if you integrate it with your Discord account, will not have the ability to read any of your messages. And then what happened? They had the ability to read your messages. For my tech-savvy people in the comments, feel free to correct me if I made any sort of like incorrect statements with all the technological jargon like SDK or, you know, bearer tokens or whatever. But like I said, Discord did lie, and you guys saw the proof in front of your face. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Discord continues to mess with everybody's privacy. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. See ya.
What is good, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to make a GUI tool. This is pretty much the only method that I've used to make GUI tools. So GUI stands for graphical user interface, which in English just means that you have buttons, you have like a page, you have like a window open with like actual buttons and functions. So it's not CLI, which is command line interface, which is pretty much like, it's just like a command prompt window, like, you know, Python, for example. Usually like scripts, they just run in CLI. Batch files, PowerShell scripts, C++ scripts, etc., etc. And to me, GUIs always seemed so much cooler because like that's what all the rats are coded in. That's what like all the good tools are like coded in. And plus, like, it's kind of sick actually having like a graphical interface. All right, let's hop straight into it. And by the way, this video is for educational purposes only. And if I sound a little off, like, I am low-key sick as fuck. Yeah, 38 and 2. Hopefully that Tylenol kicks in soon. All right, so step number 1, you want to download Visual Studio Community. So at the end of the setup, you want to make sure that you have .NET Desktop Development installed. All right, once you have that done, you just want to open up Visual Studio, create a new project. For the language filter, put C#, and you want to choose Windows Forms App .NET Framework. And bang, here you go. You should see this little Windows 7 looking ass window. So this is pretty much your GUI window, and however you modify this is how it's going to look. So first thing I'm going to do is change the name and the icon. You just want to have the window selected, and down here in properties, text form 1. I'm just going to change this to multi-tool. Make sure it's under like the font tab, because below here you also see form 1, but this is for the design. And for the icon, you want to scroll down more. Under window style, you'll see icon. And you can change a lot of settings here. So like control box. This is just going to remove minimize, maximize, X, and just make it look more bland, I guess. Same with maximize box, minimize box. You can set these to false, and these buttons will be hidden. So you can pretty much change everything about how the window looks here. And for the icon, if you have a custom icon, and let's say it's a .png file, you want to go to like a website like Cloud Convert and convert it to .ico, because that's the icon file extension. Saved it to my desktop, and here it is, shell3244.ico. Open. And now we see the icon changed. So I'm also going to make my window like more vertical. So you just want to click on start, and this is what it looks like. So in the preview, it's like the Windows 7 shit, but when you actually run it, it just like fits to whatever OS you have. And I actually don't want it to be resizable. I want it to be like set in its size. And I'm going to switch form border style to fixed signal. Boom, no minimize, no maximize, and I can't resize it. Alright, let's start adding buttons. And for that, you want to go view and then click on toolbox, or just do Control-Alt-X. Bam. Just click down on all Windows forms, and boom, these are all your little thingies you can add on to your form. So over here, you have like a lot of stuff that you see on like Windows Forms GUI apps. You have buttons, checkboxes, labels, text boxes, and how you add it, you just click on it and then drag it onto your Windows Forms. So I'm just gonna add buttons, like, and you can just copy paste them. So now we have 6 random buttons, and I'm just gonna make them do like some random ass functions. So to make the buttons actually do something, it's as simple as literally just double clicking the button, and in the code, in the .cs file, it creates a function for what happens when that button is clicked. And this is the identifier name. So button 1 and then underscore click is when you click it. So now I'm gonna just speedrun the
All right, everybody. Today we are hopping back on the Android device, testing out apps from Telegram in the sketchiest group chats I could find. But we're doing it a little different this time. If you don't use Telegram, you probably don't know this. I don't really use Telegram either. I just do it for this, just clarifying. But when you're signed in on Telegram, it automatically defaults to downloading anything in a group chat that you're inside of. So I thought it would be interesting to just let the thing download absolutely anything from these group chats. These are the type of group chats I'm in, for example. Just literally putting in anything. There's more downloading as we speak. But I already have a folder full of APK files. Look at this, man. This is 854 files. I honestly don't think we're going to be able to get to all of them, but I think it would definitely widen the mystery into what we're going to be opening instead of me kind of handpicking them based off of their name. Let's prepare for this, guys. Let's switch to the Android. Luckily, I've already uploaded all 854 APK files into a drive. So all we got to do now is just scroll down and pick whatever we want. So I don't know. I don't even know where to start. Let's do this one right here. Yeah, this might not be a good idea, guys. Don't do this. Oh, this is QQ. Play Protect actually blocked it, so I have to figure out what we're doing. This app can disable your device or threaten to reveal personal information unless you pay money. So this is a ransomware already. We have to download it, guys. I could have sworn I had Play Protect off. It keeps getting in the way. Dude, I honestly have no idea how to turn it off. There we go. Turn it off. Okay, now we can safely download this potential ransomware. Here we go. Place your bets now. Was Play Protect lying? Is this actually going to lock me out of my phone? I think, okay, I think it is. I think it is, guys. Okay, it wasn't lying. What are you saying? I translated the message. Let's read what it says. It says, your device has been blocked. To unlock your device, you'll need to buy a new phone or guess the password. Note, all your data has been hacked and deleted. Your data belongs to us. We will store your data on our secret server. Enter to unlock your stupid phone. Now, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to unlocking this, and it is an actual ransomware because I can't get out of here. Every time I press a button, they just start saying ni hao. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Dude, already? There's numbers under. What is that? Yo, shut your ass up. All right, we got a factory reset now. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, bro. Unbelievable start. We're gonna have the factory reset. Actually, wait. We do a little test. We go into safe mode and delete the app. That's definitely worth a shot. Probably should have saved that for later. Literally the first app. Now it's saying entering fast boot mode. I think I might have accidentally clicked that. Oh my god. This Android has seen enough. I personally like doing it without a VM because it's more pain to actually save this thing and bring it back to life. You have to go in safe mode. Objective number 1. Look at this background, bro. Look at this background. Oh, we are so cooked. All right, we are entering safe mode now. We're doing it. Hopefully this works. I doubt it's going to, though. If we escape this, I will be so happy. All right, we got to get in quick. As soon as it loads, we get in quick. We're in. Okay. All right, we're going to delete it. I uninstalled it. All right, now we're restarting. Okay, so if it doesn't pop up, we are good. We escaped the ransomware, but I don't know. I feel like it's lingering still. Come on now, brethren. Okay, now we have a cursed background. All right, we're in. Everything's looking fine. I'm gonna leave my phone just like this for a second. See if it pops up again. Get me in the reflection. Oh my god. Hey guys, I think we might be good. I'm going to assume that we safely recovered the phone. I've had instances though where I deleted it in safe mode and it still came back. So, but I don't think this one was that advanced. So I think we're good. All right, we can actually continue now. We are so back. Oh my god. Oh, let's keep going, guys. Let's look around for our next app. There's definitely some bad ones here. We already see a really bad one right now. Looking for one that stands out. China Google Play. Let's do that. All right, here we go, guys. Open. Okay. What just happened? Why does it want to open and then it's just... Uh-oh. Google Play is crashing frequently. All right. Thing is malfunctioning. Okay, that one just doesn't work. Probably just a Trojan. Calculator with a blank photo. Open. Allow calculator to take pictures and record video. While using. Everything while using. Yes. All the permissions just for the calculator. Fine. Okay, give it permissions for that. All right. Open it now. Change location access. Oh, it wants to know where I live so bad. Why does it keep asking for my location? What the hell is happening with this thing? It just opens in the background. That's it. Let's move on then. Stupid calculator, man. The collection and selling of data happens to everyone that uses the internet. Data brokers build a profile on you and there's no telling who eventually gets their hands on it. This is a redacted report of an actual person from a data broker. It includes their full name, age, address, phone number, and even their family details. There are data breaches all the time, and when you remember the dark web exists, it can definitely make a person rightfully anxious about them getting their information taken advantage of. About 2 years ago, someone made a hotel reservation with all of my details. I only knew about this because for some reason they used my email. But the weirdest thing is that a hotel actually IDs you when you check in, so they must have a fake ID of me as well. Once your information is sold, it it is being sold over and over. But with the sponsor of today's video, Aura, you can figure out exactly who's doing it and put an end to the cycle. If you don't know how it works, data brokers are legally obligated to remove your information from their system if requested. Most people don't even know who has it in the first place. But with Aura, they track down the data brokers for you 24/7, automatically putting in requests to remove your information as they pop up in real time. Aura includes even more features than the typical data removal service, like 24/7 identity and credit fraud monitoring, a VPN, antivirus, password manager, and even $5 million in identity theft protection. So if you're interested in trying Aura to see how much they can scrub off the internet, you can get full access free for 14 days if you scan the QR code or go to my link, aura.com/Tranium. Link will also be in the description. But yeah, let's get back into the video. Should we download the bomb? It's 2.4 megabytes. Let's do it. Bomb. Oh God, what is that photo? Is that Eminem? Oh, okay. We should be fine, right? Por favor, activate permiso. Okay, fine. All right, is that it? You're just gonna blast music in my ear? I gave it permission, so some random Telegram guy has my shit now. That's literally the entire app. It actually caught me off guard. Oh, it doesn't want to close now. Oh God, I'm trying to tab out. I can't close it now. Oh God, restart, restart, restart. Oh my gosh. Okay, please don't tell me this is gonna boot up again. That actually got me a little bit. Ooh, maybe we're fine. I don't know. Like there's worms crawling all up inside this thing by now. It started just growing. It opened on its own. I just rebooted and it opened on its own. Oh my God. Dude, we can't avoid it. It's not technically a ransomware, but we should be okay. The hell is this, bro? All right, we're going to safe mode and deleting that. That song kind of slaps, though. I can't lie. Don't understand a damn thing, but pretty good. Watch my video get claimed by that song. That'd be crazy. I would just allow them to take all the the revenue for the video. Like, keep it up, man. The safe mode reboot and delete of the app should work. We're working on it. Hold on. All right, here we go. Uninstalled bomb. We did it. We defused the bomb. The ultimate test is once you get out of safe mode. It could do something. I don't know. We should be okay, though. I'm thinking we're fine. Honestly, if you don't know how to get into safe mode and something like that happens to you, just hold down the power button on your screen, and then it'll say safe mode, and then you go back in, delete the app. Just for those of you that don't know. Anyway, we are back in Moment of Truth. We wait a couple seconds and just see. I think we're good. A lot of ransomware-esque apps so far, and some sleeper cells. There's a guy from Finland still in my Telegram account that won't let me terminate his session, so assuming someone's gonna end up signing into my Telegram account at some point, which is fine. Next one, warning. Wait, what is the name of it? Wait for it to download first. It says warning, very controversial. We gotta be real careful here. Oh my gosh, really? Use image. Oh God, let's just open it real quick. Yeah, let's hope we don't see anything crazy. I'm looking at my peripherals. Okay, apparently it's a game. I'm looking at my peripherals. I do not want to see anything bad. It's a game that we don't know the name of because there's a black bar over it. Okay, start. Oh my gosh, what the f is this, bro? What is this? Okay, he's just chilling on a ledge. All right. Oh my gosh, oh my god, 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 oh my god. Okay, all right, it's like that one show, 1,000 Ways to Die kind of thing. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, that was an unnamed game. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna move right along. Jeez, these people moving right along. We don't know the name of that app. He was just sitting on a ledge, and then, Hermit, never mind. I don't know what to think of that. Woo! The next app is called 8-Ball Poll with an eye emoji. I'm actually so scared because I randomly downloaded all these guys. So we're going to come across really bad ones. Okay, 8-Ball Pool has been installed. Okay, all right. All right, we got the lore. We found the lore. Okay, good thing I was barely looking at it. I'm looking at my center screen whenever I open some weird shit like that, just in case. So I don't have to be scarred by what I'm looking at. But no, that was not good at all. It is not 8-Ball Pool. I'll tell you that. I'm conditioned to avoid it. I'm looking straight ahead. I see red. I'm like, okay, I already know. Dude, I'm slick. I'm actually so slick now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then, you know, switch the L in lore with any letter of the alphabet, and you'll come across what I'm talking about. That's all I'm ever going to say when it comes to that. Android Studio Mobile. Could this possibly be Android Studio? It's not opening at all. Why is this thing not open? Is my finger sweaty or what? Or it just doesn't open at all? It doesn't open. Trying to play works, but Android Studio does not. Guess we gotta move on. Random APK Pure. Unnamed app again. It just says APK Pure. Maybe it's actually APK Pure. Probably is. This is a side story, by the way. Please don't be fake. Okay, it's real. It's real. We don't need to really test that one out. I have no idea what this is. We're gonna get this. Some sort of application here. What does this say? Let's translate this. Morning and evening remembrance. Is this gonna be one of those prayer apps? It is. Okay, we've done this before. Just yeah. Very useful app. We have an app release that's 130 megabytes. Now it's 124. Interesting. It has to be a game, but I could be completely wrong. Definitely one of the bigger apps so far. All right, Sketchware Pro. Oh, so this is the app that most of these people use to make these. And now I have it. They gave me the sauce. So this is inside the mind of a Telegram user. New project. Rambe. Just put whatever you want. Interesting. Okay, cool. Didn't ask though. Let's look around. Docs bin. We need to see this. This is where everyone gets doxxed on the dark web, apparently. Let's download the app. Here we go. I'm about to get doxxed. Open. Please don't be bad. Doxbin is... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We got an ad. Verify I'm human. It's just an app that takes you to a website. Oh, here we go. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. This is actually so bad. I've never seen this before, but that's actually insane. Okay. Holy man. Oh my god. I'm getting off that app, man. I'm gonna get arrested. There will be no links provided for that. Just saying. It's a dark web website. Don't go there. All right. Let's take a look at Ant Smasher. Jeez, we are seeing some crazy shit today. All right. I think I've downloaded this before. Why is it minimized? Okay, just smashing ants. It's actually kind of fun. It's minimize. Okay, I accidentally pressed shop. Why did they leave that button there? I can't get out of the screen. Janky app. What about My Horror Angela? I don't think we've messed around with Angela apps. There's always Tom, but My Horror Angela. Let's see. Oh god. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Okay, okay, we got it, we got it. What the hell is happening right now, bro? I feel like I'm listening to Skrillex right now. All right, man, we got it. Leave me alone, leave me alone. Okay, we had to remove that one. It wouldn't stop unless I uninstalled it. Okay, now we know. At least we got a new ominous wallpaper. We gotta figure out what 3PJLYS means. Almost a 6 megabyte app. Roblox 2006. Guess we about to find out. Loading. Here we go. Sign up or log in. Currently, you can't sign up. But stay tuned and like it. Just ignore the dislikers. Okay. Sign up or log in. Okay, so I can't do anything. This is all the app is, and then they have an ad at the bottom. Okay. All right. Why even post that in a chat? It's not even done. Let's keep looking. For some reason, I have like 10 apps named the same thing, pretty much. Aaron Games. Let's go ahead and try this, I guess. Who is Aaron? Overlay permission checker. This doesn't sound like a game to me, Aaron. Oh my gosh, copyrighted. It's copyrighted. What about Aaron Games Weather? A little off-brand, Aaron. Why are you making weather apps? You should be making games. Don't allow. We don't want to give Aaron our location. No, it's not gonna work on me, Aaron. There's just so many to choose from. Bee Swarm Simulator. Check that out. Open it up and give it the permissions it needs. Please enable administrator permissions. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. The fuck are you about to show me, dude? I thought I was gonna see a game. Uh-oh. Bro, antivirus ain't helping you. Oh god, here we go. Here we go. I thought I was gonna get a game. Flying chicken? What was that supposed to mean? It actually looks like a 2-year-old drew this. What is happening? We gotta see this through. Oh, it's actually overlaid over my whole phone. Look, I'm tapping out. I've actually been infected by the 2-year-old, bro. Actually infected by the 2-year-old. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's restart and see if it does anything. I think we're probably screwed though, if I had to say. Are we really gonna have to safe mode this again, bro? The 2-year-old really got in. These people do kind of have good taste in music though, I won't lie. Kind of bangs. Let's see if we're safe. Oh, new wallpaper. New wallpaper, guys. Yeah, we gotta delete this ASAP. It doesn't work because it has admin. It says uninstalling Bee Simulator. Unsuccessful. Let's try to take it off of admin. Deactivate. Okay, uninstall. All right, we deleted it. It's fine. We are in the clear. Yeah, with those admin apps, you actually can't remove admin in safe mode. If it kept popping up, I probably would have been screwed. Let's continue. Let's get this random Russian one. Don't know what it says, but 3BYK2. Hashtag hello. Hashtag 2. Open. Shit. Oh my god. My phone is frozen. Okay, just let me close it. Just let me close it, bro. Just let me close it. Oh my god. Jeez, dude. Okay, we're restarting again, bro. What is going on? These Russians, bro. I swear. Dude, the amount of resuscitating we're doing to this thing in this video. Let me back in. Okay, we have to remove it right away before it pops up. Dude, I honestly do respect them, though, for not being so edgy and showing me awful imagery. That's one thing I'll give them. Uninstalled. Be all safe, guys. Now what? Scroll to the bottom. My files release. Let's see this. Aaron Games again? No. Not interested. Open plus camera? Oh, God. Let's see if it actually does what it's saying. Oh, God. Oh, Google Play. It's just Google Play? What? Open camera. It's just Google Play. What is the point of that? Interesting. Photo.apk. That looks sus. Oh god. Oh god. Allow photo to make and manage phone calls. Yes. Oh god. Okay, another Google Play again. I'm assuming these are ones that were on the Play Store or something. Why is it requiring me to open Google Play? Subway? Subway Turkish. Here we go. This is different. Oh god, here we go. What copy to clipboard? shit, dude. Holy fuck. I have goosebumps everywhere. I'm freezing. What was that? I hated that so much. I hated that so much, man. Not even an actual game. They got me. Damn it. All right, moving right along. Trojan JS Minor AU. What is that? Spotify downloader app. Okay. Open. It's on the other side here. Oh god, here we go. Let's just give it all the permissions. APPC wallet missing. To get your reward in app coins, you need to install. Oh. Okay. Why is this actually functioning right now? Connect to Spotify. Yeah, we good, bruh. We good, man. This is how you get your Spotify account hacked, and they just keep trying to listen to music while you're listening to music, and then it stops your music randomly. Have any of you experienced that before? Because it's happened to me, and it's actually terrifying because there's someone on the other side in your account trying to listen to music. Probably because they sold your account. It's actually terrifying. You get to listen to the songs that the person who's in your account is listening to. I don't even know if that's grammatically correct, what I just said, but there's some weird sus shit that popped up when I opened this app, though. To install the app coins wallet? No, we're fucking good, man. We're gonna move right along. Easy Virus Chinese. Check it out. Oh, okay. We have a fucking awful ad. Oh my god. What kind of ads does this fucking website have? Jeez. Judging by this icon, I have a feeling it's gonna brick my phone. All right, let's open this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my phone is vibrating. Sounds like my phone's getting back shots or something. What the hell's happening? Is that all it does? Because it's just vibrating my phone. That's about it. It kind of feels nice. I might leave it. It's just gonna be vibrating the rest of the video. Is this all it does? Actually, open it again. Yeah, that's about all it does. Just becomes a vibrator. That's about it. Looking around. Baldi Beta 01. 87 megabytes. We might be getting a game here, guys. All right, let's see. Oh, he looks kind of ominous right here. All right, let's open it. Oh, actual game. W. All right, here we go. Why does it say mouse sensitivity? I got fingers, bro. Not even working. This isn't port. Okay. Okay, it worked. It worked. I can't move forward. This is horribly ported over. I can't move. Oh god, what is coming to me? Do I just take it? It's literally not letting me move, man. This is messed up. Aldi, come out. I literally am immobilized. I can't move. So what are we supposed to be doing here? Oh my god, I just saw him. Is he coming towards me? I'm not going to be able to defend myself at all. This is actually terrifying. People moving back there. Sounds like bombs are going off right now. Hello? What is that? Only I can move forward. Oh my god, it sounds like they're here. Are they here? Don't come around the corner. Gosh, dude, what the fuck is this? I feel helpless right now. This is actually kind of terrifying. I don't think they're gonna come over here though. I don't even know why I'm still here. It's just not gonna, can't do anything. Gotta close this shit. That was almost really good if I could move forward, but it seems like it was a PC game ported over to the phone, which is unfortunate, bro. Geometry Dash V2. Okay, see if this is something. Open. God, I have to give her permissions before I do anything. Okay, now what? Whoa, it's so delayed. The jumping just doesn't work. It jumps a millisecond later, which is actually awful. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Just to show you guys I'm not lying. Look at that delay. Bro, it's so delayed! So ass, bro. And no banger music either. That's kind of cringe. Let's keep looking, guys. Let's keep looking. Glitch 2008. Uh-oh. Here we go. Open. Please don't. Please don't scar me. Okay. You fucked. All right. That's it. Actually trash. Moving on. Google.exe. Let's see. Open. Give it notification access. Oh, Russian Google. Let's type PewDiePie in here. Got a little error. What is that? Just Russian Google, bro. These links. I don't like this. I don't like this. Look for more. Why is it not letting me close anything? I can't close any of these tabs. What's wrong with my shit, man? Okay, there we go. All right, can we sort it by size? Oh my god, another fucking. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, what are these fucking pop-ups, bro? Oh my god, dude. Bundle. Could y'all see that? I just tried to sort my drive with size, and then it opened a YouTube video that said bundle. What was that? Am I ad word right now? This is actually unbelievable. Every time I click now. This one. Okay, every time I click now, bro. Oh my gosh, I've been infected for real. Hey, I'm not gonna say the name of this app out loud, but it says something craft. Oh man, it's the biggest app in this drive, so I want to see what it is. It's almost 1 gigabyte. Let's see what this is all about, man. Gotta be insane. Okay, here we go. Please don't be bad, bro. Please do not be bad. All right, here we go. What am I enabling? Settings, apps. You have to give this Minecraft thing permissions. All right, close it and reopen it. Now, what is this, bro? Oh god. Shadiq. We Shadiq. You must be 18 to continue. All the characters are fictional. Oh god, here we go, man. Oh no. Start. Oh no. Is it one of these? I'm not reading all that. I'm sorry. The is this? What is this, bro? It's not even an actual game. He wants to go to the village, apparently. I'm just reading as fast as I can. Who makes this shit, bro? Skip time? Yes. Go to the mines. He doesn't want to go in the mines. What a bitch. I'm gonna go in here and sleep, I guess. Now, what is happening? She's not back from the village yet. What do you want me to do exactly? Oh, we're actually doing something. Jesus, I have to tap just to break one block. Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, I got 1 wood. Oh, thank you. Guess we just sleep until the lady is back. This game is ass. I don't even want to know what ends up happening. She's still not back. I don't want to know what's happening, bro. It's been days in game. Nothing progressed. Let's delete that, bro. Oh, it's not letting me uninstall it? Oh my God. Why is it going back in? It's actually not letting me delete it. Why isn't it letting me? Oh my God, I gave it full permissions and now it doesn't want to get off. It keeps opening. Why does it keep opening on its own? Dude, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Bro. Safe mode. We have a 18+ Minecraft ransomware, basically. No. It's not even ransomware. It just doesn't want to close. Okay, there we go. We'll be right back. I'm gonna remove it. Oh my God. I just rebooted my phone and it actually was a ransomware. What? This is actual ransomware. Bro, we're actually cooked, bro. It was the 18+ Minecraft. Oh my God. That was an actual malware game, bro. Now we're cooked. I deleted it too. I deleted it in safe mode. See what I mean? This shit still happens. Now I'm cooked. Now I have to actually factory reset the phone. Oh my God, bro. What does this even mean? There's Arabic on the top right. I could translate that. Let's take a look. Okay, on the top right, it just says your phone has been hacked. That's pretty much all it says. Dude, I don't know what I just toggled on, but there's a toggle down here. That is actually insane. Gotta reset it now. I'm not gonna lie. I think this phone has seen enough. I still have an entire drive full of a ton of APK files. So if you guys want to see another episode, drop a like and comment down below. Also subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I'm gonna go through the Mega Vault, but we need to let this thing breathe for a bit. It has seen a lot of things in this one. I was not expecting that Minecraft game to be a ransomware. I'm gonna go do surgery now. I'll see you guys.
Better Call Saul follows the moral decline of lawyer Jimmy McGill, as we witness how the people in his life, his tendency to scam, and the inaccessible world of law morph him into the criminal lawyer persona of Saul Goodman, who we first meet in Breaking Bad during its 2nd season. Better Call Saul celebrates its 10th anniversary this year, and since it's become my new favorite piece of narrative media, I thought it was time for a third good old-fashioned analysis. Should I keep making more? Is it getting old? Tell me what you think in the comments. This video essay marks a slight departure from the previous two. I've mainly been analyzing character dynamics from the lawyer side of the show, with no attention given to the cartel side. You could say this video acts as a bridge between the lawyer world and the cartel world in Better Call Saul. Today we'll be analyzing the relationship between criminal fixer Mike Ehrmantraut and everyone's favorite slippery lawyer, Jimmy McGill, aka Saul Goodman. In comparison to the other character relationships I've been looking at, Jimmy and Mike's relationship extends into Better Call Saul because it was first established in Breaking Bad. In fact, the character of Mike was only created because actor Bob Odenkirk wasn't available for the finale of Season 2. That means that Saul was originally supposed to be the one to clean up Jesse's apartment after Jane's death. Throughout Breaking Bad, we see Saul using Mike as